I'm awake at night. I literally can't sleep when I think about how good both of these teams are. Like we've said, it was these two every single time. There was no world where this rematch wasn't happening. And now when you look at it, there's so much material for both teams to win this. I have no idea what we're going to see.
When I look at Florida, they have all the motivation in the world to take themselves to the next level. When I look at Edmonton, there's all this Connor lore happening. I literally feel like we are in a AI universe where it is written for both teams. So I don't know what's going to happen.
Ice is ready, and we are back with another episode of the Empty Netters podcast, brought to you by BetMGM. I'm your host, Dan Powers, and sitting next to me, a man who I once saw so drunk that he forgot that he already took off his contact lenses, and I then watched him for about 5 minutes try to peel the skin off of his eyeball, searching for his contact lens that was already in the case, Chris Powers.
As always, I thought it was up in my eye, dude. I thought I was going to have eye damage forever.
I remember that moment so vividly because I was so invested because you were like, this is crazy, dude. I can't get it. Like, I can't find it. And I was just laughing because you were so drunk and I was so drunk. And then your eye was slowly just getting redder and redder and you were like tearing up. You were like, this is insane. I then just saw the contact case on the sink and I was like, are they out? And you were like, oh my God, they're out.
And you'd think I'm like, I couldn't see anything.
Yeah, you should have been like, I'm blind here.
Well, I think it was because when I'm that close to the sink, I can see, you know?
Oh,
So it's
yeah. Sure,
If I'd taken one step back, everything would have gone blurry and I would have known.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
Simple as that. Simple as
Jack.
Jack.
Simple Jack.
Simple Jack. Wow. Can you imagine that role? Remember when I sent that picture of you at the wedding?
We should, yeah.
That was good.
It was.
You were looking like Simple Jack, dude.
I know. We should.
You were watching your head movies.
So, is there a chance that they should make that movie?
Did you make Simple Jack?
Yeah.
I think they should make all of them. I want to see Satan's Alley.
Yeah.
I want to see Simple Jack. I want to see Fatties. Fart Camp. Fart
I think
4.
it would make money. I think if you made Simple Jack, it would make money.
Yeah.
Tough roll, though. Tough roll.
Tropic Thunder is the funniest movie I've ever seen.
Dude, they're making a Les Grossman movie.
No.
Yep.
No, they're not.
Yeah, they are. Tom was riffing scenes while shooting Mission Impossible.
It's crazy to me that Tom is going to follow up Top Gun Maverick and the Mission Impossible finale with a Les Grossman movie.
And win Oscar. He's going to win Oscar for it.
He should. It was perfect. The casting in that movie was the most knocked out of the park thing I've ever seen. The greatest cameos in the history of film.
Yeah.
Like, it's unbelievable. Do you have the bandwidth in you to talk about the Harry Potter series?
Yes.
Yeah?
I think so.
We
You're gonna
mentioned,
piss me off, but...
yeah, we're on a bit of a TV train here. We were talking about the disappointment that is The Last of Us. We're getting a Harry Potter series. It's been talk of the town. We've seen casting with some great stuff. I think it's Lithgow, right?
Yeah,
Lithgow's Dumbledore.
I got the whole thing right here, dude. Watch this, bro. Ready?
Yeah.
This is what I'm going to do.
You got to do it faster than that. We got listeners here.
This guy, Dominic McLaughlin, is playing Harry Potter. There he is.
We were gonna build up to the 3 kids, but okay, you're starting off hot.
Ready?
Okay. The news flash is we got our Harry, Ron, and Hermione.
We're gonna do a letter grade on everyone announced.
Just based on looks?
Just based on how you feel.
Okay.
Dominic McLaughlin. There's Harry. Ready?
I would like to preface this by saying these 3 are children and everyone be nice to them. Like, they didn't make this decision. Like, they are young kids who are trying to be actors and they were casting Harry, Ron, and Hermione. Every kid should go up for this. So don't be mean to them.
Millions of kids.
I'm going to give, okay.
Ready?
Yeah.
Hold on. Okay, I'm ready. 3, 2.
We're both going.
Yeah. 3, 2, 1.
A+.
D.
I'm giving A+ to all the kids. Because I refuse to be mean to a child.
D. This is a D, and it's partially not his fault because...
Let me see him again.
Look at that, dude.
You do? I don't want to take a shot. He looks great. I don't want to take a shot. And also, it's bullshit that they're showing a photo of Daniel Radcliffe. Like,
No, it's not bullshit.
No,
That's
it is
exactly what I was about to say.
no, it is bullshit because what did they do for Daniel Radcliffe? You've got to show maybe art that we've seen, maybe cover art.
Yeah, I'll show you cover art of Harry right next to young Daniel Radcliffe, and you'll go,
But
is that the same person? And then I'll show you cover art of Harry and Daniel Radcliffe, and then Dominic McLaughlin.
You're such a twat. You're showing a photo of Daniel Radcliffe in character, in costume, glasses, and a drawn-on lightning bolt on his forehead.
Dominic McLaughlin doesn't even have a scar on his forehead.
Yeah, like what are you? You're not allowed to show a picture of him in character, you shithead.
Okay.
So that's not fair.
Yes, it is, dude.
No, it's not fair. Wait till you see Dom in costume. I bet he's gonna blow your cock off your body.
He's not at all. Because a kid could never do that.
That would be illegal.
Look at this, Dan. Fuck you.
Yeah. What am I looking at?
That's young Daniel Radcliffe looking fucking perfect.
This
looking
is the most
fucking perfect.
This is the
that's
most
no costume.
tainted.
That's literally just cast. That's the casting shoot, dude.
You're out of control. Bro.
You're insane.
You're out of control. Move on.
Okay, so he gets a D because he doesn't look anything like Harry. And
He looks like an 11-year-old boy.
This kid would get last in a Harry Potter lookalike contest if he dared.
Harry Potter is a fictional character.
With a description of what that fictional character looks like. In writing. In
But
writing
we
that we
haven't
can't delete.
seen him in. This is insane.
This kid-
He's actually got green eyes.
This kid sucks. Does he really? No, he does not. You fucking nice try. Nice try,
But
buddy.
you didn't know.
Because I thought that I was going to give him a C. I was
Does
going
he
to
have,
bump
what
him.
color eyes does he have?
Blue. Piercing blue.
Yeah, whatever.
Bitch. This kid's a D. Okay. Ron Weasley is played by Alistair Stout, which is just tremendous.
One of the most remarkable British names you'll ever hear. Alistair Stout. I dare that kid's mom to say that he didn't put, when she had a baby, if she didn't put in a Harry Potter name generator website and it spat out Alistair Stout, that is literally the only way this kid was
Yeah,
named.
correct. Okay, here he is.
Yeah.
That's what he looks like. 3, 2, 1.
A plus. And I actually mean it.
A plus, perfect.
He's incredible.
And dude,
He's incredible.
Like, this is why I'm enraged by Dominic McLaughlin. Because Dominic McLaughlin, and I know it's a big role because he's, Harry's in every scene and he's got to do all the fucking acting. And Dominic McLaughlin has previously acted in Grow, an upcoming comedy on Sky. And I'm like, okay. But dude, Alistair Stout, Dan, doesn't have any acting credits.
Yeah.
Legend. This guy, this is my Ron Weasley, dude. This is perfect.
Yeah.
I have nothing to say. And it's not only, he does look a lot like Rupert Grint. He does.
Yeah.
But that's not even why it's an A+. It's Rupert Grint looks like the fucking character, and so does Alistair Stout.
Sure.
That's exactly what, dude, I can see him with a little dirt on his cheeks, and I'm like, Ron,
Yeah.
take a shower. And he's like, it's my bad.
I think he's great.
Great. Hell yeah, Alistair. Okay, Hermione Granger, played by Arabella Stanton.
Yeah.
There she is. Tell me when you're ready.
Ready.
Well, I know what you're going to say, you fucking bitch. 3, 2, 1.
A+.
C+. C+.
I'll tell you what, I saw a tape of one of her auditions. Fantastic.
Really?
Yeah, she's crushing it.
I believe it. And I actually think...
Great teeth.
Dude, I was about to say, I actually really like her teeth in this. Hermione is described as having really big teeth.
Yeah, bushy hair. She's got bushy hair.
Bushy hair, big teeth.
And
I was like, oh, actually, I love the, I think the teeth is spot on.
Her audition tape was phenomenal. She's cute as a button. I think she's going to nail it. And I've got things to say about this later, but that's my grade for now.
She previously starred as Matilda in Matilda the Musical on the West End.
Love that.
So you know she can sing. Hermione, famously a great singer. So that's huge.
Yeah, sure.
Well, fine. I'll come back to it when you go back to it.
Yeah.
C+. So far the kids are doing horribly, except for Ron. Albus Dumbledore, played by John Lithgow.
God, I love him.
Ready?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1.
A minus.
Okay.
And the minus for me is only because he's not British. And I know I don't.
Good.
I don't care about that stuff normally because I think it's so fucking stupid when people get, hey, idiots, do you know what acting is? Pretending.
Yeah.
So I usually don't care about that. But I'm such a...
It was kind of cool that the movies did that.
Yeah, it was. And I mean, like, we denied Robin Williams.
I know, which is like one of the great tragedy.
It's a tragedy.
But I thought it was cool. I was
But
like, it's cool.
John's earned it, and as a huge fan of British culture, I'm a Brit at heart.
Yeah.
I love
And
being
a
in that in that country. I love being in London. I love British cinema, British TV. I'm obsessed. So I think it's really cool when productions do an all British cast. But I'm not going to hold it against it. He's still in the A's. John Lithgow he's phenomenal. I think he'll do a great job.
I like it because we've seen him be funny.
Yeah.
And Dumbledore's quirky as hell, bro. Dumbledore will snap a towel around with you every now and then. Especially in the men's locker room, as we've found out.
That is true.
He'll snap a towel around with you. But he's also can be scary. Like not just mean, but like he can be scary. Like there are moments in the series where they describe Harry's like, holy fuck, like when he's fighting Voldemort in 5.
And we've seen him be scary in Dexter.
Exactly. That's what I mean. So I actually really like this one where I'm like, oh, dude, he can hit both sides of that.
The Trinity Killer.
And I liked how old, could you find out how old Lithgow is?
Yeah, I sure can.
Because Dumbledore in book 1, I think is already like 105. So it's like, he doesn't need to be spry, but there were moments.
Lithgow is, he's almost 80. He's 79.
That was my fear.
Dude, like, are you going to make it through this? This is going to take like 10 years.
Yeah, that was my
like,
fear.
Are we just going to have
that we were having another
Dumbledore
Richard
die
Harris
in the middle of shooting again?
Another Richard Harris. And as sad as it was that Richard Harris died, I did think there were things that he couldn't have done in later movies.
The duel with Voldemort would have been difficult for Richard Harris.
So like
Whereas
this
Michael
is
Gambon crushed that.
if I know anything about TV shows, per our last conversation, next season is going to come out fucking 5 years later.
Oh, God.
By the time we're dueling Voldemort, Lithgow is going to be 110.
I can't even
So
talk about
I'm
that.
like, dude, that worries me a little bit. But I think he's a great actor, and I love him for this role.
I'll take a moment to say, folks, we know that this is our Stanley Cup final preview episode. We won't take too long on
We'll
this,
get there.
But we love Potter. Give us a break.
Okay, now this is going to I'm going to get in trouble for this because I actually don't know how to say this guy's name. I don't know how to pronounce his name.
Oh, do you want to try?
No.
Are you sure?
I bet his last name is Esiadu.
First name?
I don't know how to try. Paapa.
You can get that one, dude.
Well, I would my brain would say Papa, but I don't think that's how you
His
say it.
name is Papa Asedu.
Okay. Papa Asedu, Severus Snape.
Yeah.
3, 2, 1.
F.
F? I didn't even
it's-
say a letter. I was going to say B.
It's like what if we're doing this based on? I mean, are we doing this based on what I like about the casting, or like the look is what you seem to be doing?
Well, no, because I don't know what these kids have never acted in shit, so it's hard for that to factor in.
Sure.
And in fact, I actually
'Cause here's
skewed
the
Ron's
thing.
up.
I think this dude is a fucking awesome actor.
Yep.
Like I love him. I am giving it an F because I am very afraid of what clearly the producers did not consider with
dude.
casting a gorgeous black man as a greasy-haired, pale, pasty asshole who gets ruthlessly bullied by our hero's father and his best friends. Like that's not gonna look awesome.
Who are all going to be cast as white.
Yes.
Because of the children that they've cast.
Like
You know what I mean?
it makes me a little nervous, but as an actor, I think he's awesome.
That's why
so
I bet
like,
in the middle.
I'm going higher than B. I'm going A, flat A. But I just think I'm a little nervous.
They've opened a can of worms.
I think it's also tough that like we've got
even the bullying is the best point.
Yeah.
But even that, ignoring that, he's the only teacher that Harry hates.
And it's from the casting I've seen, he's the only black teacher.
Yeah.
So I'm like, why does we have Harry just hating this beautiful black man?
dude,
like, why do we do that?
I was about to say no spoilers, but if you haven't read or seen Harry Potter 1 by now, then get fucked.
Sorry, yeah.
Dude, someone's breaking in to steal the Sorcerer's Stone, and Harry's like this. I think it's the
It's
black
that guy.
And everyone's like,
Every
Harry,
turn.
chill, dude. He's like, it's the black guy.
He's like, it's Snape, and it's like, what is your problem,
Like,
dude?
Harry, dude.
It's
Jeez,
just like
Dominic.
Yeah, it scares me for that reason. For the actor, A.
Yep.
but it scares me.
Well,
for
can
that
we
reason.
circle back to Hermione then? Because I have a similar concern.
I do too. So,
But I actually don't know anything about this girl. Like,
Well,
what is her heritage?
I don't know, but Arabella Stanton is she again, her audition tape amazing, but there's a world where she has some Hispanic heritage, which it appears
I don't know
to be
if she
so,
does.
but I don't mean to assume. I think the name Arabella adds to that assumption, and I just worry that when a majority of book 2 is her being bullied and called a mudblood, that is also scary to me.
Yeah, dude. Like, oh man, that's
But again,
crazy.
it's magical world. It's I just think that these things should be thought about when we're doing stuff like this.
I wonder how they're going to navigate the Snape thing. That's actually crazy. Okay, Minerva McGonagall.
Just, all of this is coming. I'm worried.
Yeah,
That's all this is.
I
coming
can't believe this series is happening, dude. Like,
Yeah, I have another thing to say about that.
Janet McTeer.
Yeah,
3, 2, 1.
A plus.
I was going to say B plus.
I think she's an incredible actress. I think she looks amazing.
You know,
She's kind of hot still.
dude.
And there's something about Minerva. She's a gambling
you know what,
fiend.
dude? You're actually going to be talking me into it.
She's a gambling fiend. She's like McGonagall's. She's naughty. She's naughty. She's a naughty girl.
McGonagall, dude. McGallion.
She's in the Final Reckoning.
I like. Who is she?
She's like the
yeah,
she's
yeah.
like the vice president. She's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
the right hand woman.
This one is hurt for me because of my Maggie Smith love, and it's
Yeah.
completely unfair to
Yeah,
Janet.
you gotta remove.
Completely unfair. But I'm just like, Maggie Smith is maybe not who I even would have thought to
You had-
be McGonagall
You
at
had
first.
you had no Alan Rickman love, brother. Papa's not getting a hit because of your Alan Rickman love.
I do have Alan Rickman love, but just Maggie Smith, dude.
Oh, she's Dame.
Goated. And I'm just like, now that is McGonagall to me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what are you going to do? Janet, are you going to do a Maggie Smith impression? And she isn't. But I'm like, now I'm worried, dude.
Janet's goated. She's gonna be great. I mean, Maggie's goated, but Janet is great. She's gonna be phenomenal.
Rubius Hagrid is played by Nick Frost.
Oh my god, dude. Is there? We don't even need to count down. Is there a score higher than A plus? If you have not seen Hot Fuzz, if you have not seen Shaun of the Dead, if you are unfamiliar with Nick Frost, he is going to be so fucking good as Hagrid. I can't wrap my head around it.
Dude, I think that this one, I was excited to get to this one because this is more what I was like, this is so spot on.
Oh.
I'm like, how have we not found actors like this
Yeah.
to do exactly their job here?
Yeah.
That's how I feel about this
So
guy.
immediate A plus.
And this is another one where Robbie was gas. And you know, I'm like, but it's still, these would be dueling incredible performances.
Yeah.
Okay. Argus Filch, Paul Whitehouse. Okay.
Yeah.
Ready? And this is gonna be a funny take for me. 3, 2, 1.
C
A minus.
plus.
So, dude,
Paul Whitehouse looks too lovely to me.
so he does, and I know nothing about his game. I apologize to Paul. I'm completely unfamiliar with his game. But this fucking picture that I'm looking at on Variety.com is so funny to me that I'm just like, I love this guy.
I see. There's just like a lot of. I think he'll be great. He's like a crotchety old British man, but he just looks like a lovely man.
He looks so.
Like I need Filch to be an asshole.
You're right, dude. He looks so happy in this, though. I just fucking love it, dude. Holy
But
shit.
he'll crush it.
But no, maybe you're right. Maybe he's too. Maybe he can't get the friendliness out of him.
Yeah.
I should have gone B. Okay, the last one.
Okay.
Professor Quirrell, Luke Thallon.
Yeah, he's great.
3, 2, 1. A.
A.
Great.
Looks great.
Great.
And
if we do
are
add
those
the
the
stutter,
only officials?
I think so. This article came out
Must have been like within the last few days.
5 days ago.
Yeah, yeah.
So I think this is who has been announced.
So yeah, here's the thing. I think overall, pretty good scores. I know mine. I was given A pluses everywhere, and I want to reiterate the Papa one. I think he is out of this world. I worry, guys. I'm just afraid.
They opened a can of worms.
I think
You're
they opened a
100%
can
right
of
about
worms, and
that.
I hope it doesn't get out of control. My final thought on the Potter series is: listen, CP and I are two of the biggest Potter fans you will possibly ever meet. We would challenge anyone on Earth to Potter trivia.
Correct.
We have read each of the books, I would reckon, over 100 times.
Correct.
I am very upset with HBO, Warner's, and Heyday, who is David Heyman is my favorite producer alive. You got the source material, right?
Mm-hmm.
You've got this world where the wizarding world is about to become, whether you like it or not, the MCU.
Yeah. Wow.
Why this first? Why didn't we do a Marauders show? Why didn't we do a Goblin Wars show? Why didn't we do a Peveril Brothers show? We didn't need to do the 7 books first.
Again.
Because, as we've seen, I watch these movies 20 times a year. Everyone watches them during Christmas. Like these movies are not far enough removed. We didn't need to reboot this. Like Daniel, Emma, and Rupert, my friends, they're so young still that they look like them still. Like they look. Daniel and Emma and Rupert look like Harry, Ron, and Hermione still.
Yeah.
They don't look like, oh yeah, I once played, like if Emma Watson walked down the street right now and a young girl saw her, she'd be like, holy fuck, that's Hermione. It wouldn't be that's an old woman who you'd have to be told played Hermione once. I just think it's too close. And regardless of how amazing they're going to be, our entire generation, I think millennials especially are going to be like, whether you love it or not, be like,
boo.
No, yeah. They're either going to be like, boo, or they're going to be like, it's not my Harry Potter.
You think Dominic's my Harry, dude?
Yeah, like I genuinely think they're like, this is not my Harry Potter.
Yeah.
And I think that's a shame because I think there's a high chance, like I said, I fucking love this producer. HBO is the gold standard. Warner's is incredible. I don't think you will be able to get past how heavy the love for the original 8 movies is going to be. You should have done this with something else. You should have done the prequel story that we've always talked about. Like, give me the show that starts with Dumbledore and his friendship with Grindelwald getting to Hogwarts, and then like that getting into his later life and becoming a professor, and then Harry's parents getting to, like, that is what we should be doing first. And then in 10, 15 years, when the Wizarding World franchise is this big thing, and you have a huge generation of people who didn't grow up with these movies, then you do this.
Yeah, you catch the whole series could catch up to it.
Yeah.
You know, by the time you've seen the Voldemort World War I, and then you launch the series that is the books, and I'm like, okay.
But I will also say this. This is my note to the producers. You have the opportunity here. I think these movies 1 through 7 part 2, are masterpieces. I really do.
Masterpieces?
I do. I think it is so difficult to translate how big this world is, and I think that they're phenomenal. They are Oscar-nominated films.
Not very much, though.
Doesn't matter. They have some Oscar nominations.
Yep, fair.
And they're brilliant, dude.
I like it, dude. I love them. Don't
brilliant.
get me wrong.
A lot of the gripes were people going, oh, you took out this, you took out that. Our biggest gripe is Dobby is one of the most important characters in the story, and he's not in movies 3 through 7, part 1.
Yeah.
That is a catastrophic, or 3 through 7, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That is a catastrophic bag fumble. But you now have a series which is giving you ample time and space to put in everything. My message: just fucking stick to the books, dude.
Stick to the basics.
Stick
to the basics.
You fucking ass clowns. If you don't just stick to the fucking books, the source material that has delivered what many consider the greatest story of all time, I don't give a fuck if it is a direct word-for-word translation. In fact, I would like it more. If you fucking twats try to put in any bullshit, any stupid messaging that you're trying to ram down people's throats for whatever reason or not, then you have completely failed this mission.
Dude, the script is done. The books.
It's done. They're written.
The books. Just read them. Read
They're
your
written.
lines. Take the
Hire
book home,
a
learn your
writer,
lines.
hire us if you want to literally turn a page and translate it into your script, because if you don't do that, you are the biggest assholes I've ever fucking seen.
Agree. And you're expelled from Hogwarts, which is worse than death.
Send in your wands to be terminated.
Yep. Wow. Okay, we got to take a quick break. When we come back, we're getting into the hot ice of the Stanley Cup Finals preview, and you're getting a Coachella update.
Wow. The finals are here, babes. So we are getting in on the action as usual with BetMGM, and we are ripping the NHL hat trick jackpot. It's what we've been talking about. If you think that we're not getting a hat trick in this final, you are out of your mind. We love that anytime goal scorer action, so that's what we're going to be hitting. And if your player scores 3 or more goals getting that hat trick, you are going to be entered in your chance to win the jackpot of $10,000 on top of winning your anytime goal scorer. How do you like me now? That is unbelievable stuff from BetMGM. You got to get in on this game. It's so, so good. We're going to be ripping the finals. At every single game, we're going to be riding with you. Let's do this, baby. And when you sign up for BetMGM right now with promo code NETTERS, NETTERS, you are going to get up to $1,500 in bonus bets. So you can bet up to $1,500, and if you lose it, you get it all back right into your account. BetMGM is taking care of you like no one else in the game. So get signed up today and join in on the fun with your boys. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Available in the U.S. Call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369 in New York. Call 1-800-327-5050 in Massachusetts. 21 plus only. Please gamble responsibly. Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP in Arizona. 1-800-BETS-OFF in Iowa. 1-800-981-0023 in Puerto Rico. First bet offer for new customers only. Subject to eligibility requirements. Bonus bets are non-withdrawable. In partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel. See BetMGM.com for terms. U.S. promotional offers not available in New York, Nevada, Ontario, or Puerto Rico. Huge thank you to our sponsors. We got to get into hot ice. Do you want to talk Coachella first or second? I think second.
Yeah, we'll do it.
Let's talk hot ice, baby. Yep. Here we are, folks. Hopefully you didn't skip that Harry Potter section because that was great shit. But now we are talking hockey. We are talking the Stanley Cup Final. We are talking rematch. We are talking Edmonton, Alberta. We are talking Sunrise, Florida. We are going back to back. Panthers versus Oilers. Holy hell.
The Oilers they open at -115. The Panthers open at -105. Dan, are you ready? And we've never solved how to do this, so we're just going to do it like we always do it.
Yeah.
Do you have your answer?
I do.
Mine might be fucking batshit.
I love it.
I've been batshit all playoff, though, so here we go. Ready? 3, 2, 1.
Oilers in 7. Wow. Now, hold on.
Let me just say.
A lot of Florida fans listening right now are losing their minds.
Yep.
Guys, I want to be clear. I'm still on the bandwagon. I've been welcomed in the family. Oilers fans, I love you guys. We're heading there tomorrow. We're heading there today.
When you're listening to this, I'll be on a plane.
We're going to be on a plane to Edmonton.
Yeah.
I can't fucking wait to get there. I am rooting for the Panthers. I'm on your band. I'm with you guys. I'm battling with you. This is just doing my due diligence on the podcast. What is my genuine, honest feeling? I believe that the Oilers will win this.
I'm going to tell you this much, because I've always said our predictions aren't necessarily what we're rooting for. I'm just saying what I think is going to happen. And this playoff has been so fun that I say this anecdote a lot where you cannot know who you're rooting for until the game kind of starts. Like sometimes in neutral Super Bowls, I think that I'm like, I don't know who I'm rooting for, and then the game starts, and I'm so clearly like, oh, I want this team to win.
Yeah.
I'm withholding my root for like when maybe we're just getting there, and Edmonton obviously has the advantage because we're going to be in the mixer.
Yeah,
you just kind of get caught up with the fans. Honestly.
For sure.
Like I can feel myself being like, I root for Edmonton when I'm in Edmonton,
Buddy,
and I root for Florida to win when I'm in Florida.
We've been planning this, and like guys, we've got so much to tell you. We're doing an awesome watch party at the Pint on Thursday.
Yep.
Between games 1 and 2. We'll post all about that. Make sure you're there if you're in Edmonton. And when we're doing this stuff, shout out our boy Taylor. As we're planning everything, I feel like an Oilers fan. Like I'm like, fucking Edmonton, let's go. I can't fucking wait. We're gonna be doing all this fun shit. So yeah, that totally happened.
Yep. So here's what's happened though. I picked the Kings in 7 in the first round.
Yeah.
Because I was genuinely like, the Kings are better than the Oilers. They beat them all year. And after the first 2 games, you had to be insane to think it was even going 7. And then the Oilers win.
Even 5.
Yep. And then I was like, Vegas, because I was on Vegas. I had Vegas win the cup in my brackets. I was like, Vegas is sick. I picked Vegas in 4 against Minnie, and they won, but it was a joke. And then I picked them in 5 to beat the Oilers because I really thought Vegas had this other gear. They did not. So I'm out here banging the Vegas drum, Oilers dust them in 5. I'm out here banging the Stars drum, Oilers dust them in 5. If you can't beat them, dude, Oilers in 5.
I like it.
And here's why. These two teams seem so good that it would be insane for that to end that quickly. But I could see them taking 2 at home and Florida going, doesn't matter, we just got to hold serve in Florida, but they drop 1 in overtime. And
good
then
rationale.
Like, now you're in Edmonton in Game 5 and you just lost.
Good rationale. And you know what's interesting for me, and this might get rammed down my throat, if someone were to win in 5 or God forbid, a sweep, I actually think it's only Florida. I think only Florida could be capable of that.
Yeah.
I think this Florida team is too professional. I think they're too experienced. They clearly are not tired.
Yeah.
So I don't.
They're too tired.
I just don't
They're too
see
tired
them
to win a cup.
losing like that. But I do think that this is going the distance. I think that this is just going to be a bloodbath of truly. It might go win, 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 win,
dude.
win. Like it truly might just go back and forth until the odd number of 7.
This is the I feel like this is about to be the witchiest final ever because I have some magic shit that I need to discuss with you that's going down.
Well, this is a heavy Magic episode.
Dude, wow, true. This is like this is why if you were asking me gun to my head who wins the cup, I say Oilers because of this mysticism that I'm about to read. Okay? And
You want to do it right now?
Yeah, I'm going to give you a ton of it, dude.
Fuck yeah.
And it feels like something's in the ether when you hear all this shit. Here's a basic one, but just like McDavid scoring the OT winner in 4 Nations this year just happened this midseason. You're like, uh-oh, something's happening for Connor.
It feels like we do have McDavid lore going on right now.
That's what I'm talking about.
Like he got married last summer.
Boom, new husband.
He's like
4 Nations champion.
And also, but
whole
like
country on his back.
Even before that, Leon signs his extension, and like now all the attention's on Connor.
Yep.
Like he's up for extension this summer. Like what's going to happen with that? 4 Nations.
Canada getting killed in World Juniors, and then he goes, dude, don't worry. Boom, I score the golden goal, the new golden goal. It's me.
Yep.
And then Canada hasn't had a cup in a billion fucking years, and he's like, don't worry, dude. You have me. It's coming.
Yep.
Okay? Since there have been, if you go up and look it up, there's been a back-to-back final rematch a decent amount of times, but you got to remember there were 6 teams in the league for a long time,
Yeah,
12
true.
teams in the league for a long time, so it was way more common. Since the NHL had more than 20 teams, so it was harder, it has literally only happened twice since the league got bigger than 20 teams. 2 times ever. The New York Islanders and the Edmonton Oilers played in 83 and 84, and the Pittsburgh Penguins and the Detroit Red Wings played in 2008 and 2009. That's the only 2 times it has ever happened. In both times, the team that lost the first one won the second one, and in both times, it was how Gretzky got his first cup and Crosby got his first cup. You're telling me...
Now, I tweeted that. I tweeted that exact thing. Obviously. Tweet goes nuclear. Edmonton fans are like, here it is, perfect, blah, 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 blah. Florida fans were like, yawn, don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
And like I said, like, it was like loss, win. And this one was like loss. And then I was like, we'll see. And people were like, loss. Florida fans.
Yeah.
The other big one is, I think Wayno and Sid were like 21-22.
Ooh.
Connor is 28.
Yeah.
So like it's not as picture perfect, but like it is who are his comps, right? Wayne and Sid. Like people always talk about those 2 guys when you're talking about Connor McDavid. So very cool.
Because the revenge, we always talk about when a team is up against the wall with 3 losses, it's hard to match that desperation.
Sure.
Revenge is it's hard to match the loser's fire.
Sure.
When you're in the rematch, the team that lost like fucking hates you so much. And the team that won is like, let's get him again. But it's like, well, they want your head on a spike. So that's a huge factor.
We've also seen a lot of teams, like teams have lost the Stanley Cup back-to-back years. So like that has happened too.
Okay, I have 3 more Connor lore things.
Love it.
I'm going to give you this one next. We talked about this a little bit after the games, but it's the touching of the conference finals trophies. So the Panthers have won the Eastern Conference now 3 times. In 1996 and 2023, when they won it, they touched it. And then in 2024, they did not touch it.
And won.
Now this year, obviously, they did not touch it again. So they have that going for them, which is nice. But the Oilers, Dan, they did touch it this year, and they didn't do so in 2023 or 2006. So the last 2 times they went, they didn't touch it, and then now they did. So I know the Panthers have their like, well, we also did our good luck thing, but I just feel like the Panthers having done the same thing twice, and then the third cup they made, they changed it and won, and then the Oilers having done the same thing twice, and then the third cup they make, they changed it. I just feel like it's the seesaw swings to them on that one. The Panthers go, we didn't touch it again, but I go, it doesn't matter. The Oilers are on the don't touch, and now everyone touched.
I don't like that one.
Dude, you're crazy.
No, I don't like that one.
That one might have won them the cup.
You made a great decision that won you the cup, and then you are right back, and you did the same thing. Like that is like being like this. You've been perfect, and now we're going to penalize you for continuing to be perfect. I don't like that one. I see where you're coming from, but poo-poo to you, sir.
Okay.
I don't like that.
Okay, and then this one is epic, dude. Starting in 2017, whoever knocks the Toronto Maple Leafs out of the playoffs loses to whoever wins the cup. In 2017, the Capitals knocked them out, and then they lost to Pittsburgh, who won the cup. In 2018, Boston knocked them out. There's a skip in 2018. 2019, Boston knocks them out. They go to the cup, lose to the cup winner, obviously. 2020, Blue Jackets knock them out. They lose to Tampa. Tampa wins the cup. 2021, they lose to Montreal. Montreal loses to Tampa. Tampa wins the cup. 2022, they lose to Tampa. Tampa goes to the cup, loses to Colorado, wins the cup. 2023, loses to Florida, who loses to Vegas because they won the cup. 2024, loses to Boston, who lost to Florida, who won the cup. 2025, they lost to Florida, who naturally now has to lose to the team that wins the cup.
What's funny is posting this and including 17 is so dumb.
Yeah.
Like just do it from 19 to 25. Like then
19,
it's actually
19
a streak.
to 25 is the streak.
Then it's actually a streak.
Yeah. Let's
the omission makes me wonder, maybe there's another skip.
Maybe it's on an 8-year cycle.
It's on a classic 8-year cycle.
It's like whoop, whoop, whoop. Okay, so that's scary.
That's a tough Toronto curse. Yeah, that's good.
And then this one I found, which I couldn't believe, Dan. Since the expansion era, Edmonton is only the 8th team in NHL history to reach a Stanley Cup after losing the first 2 playoff games they played. If you lose your first 2 games, presumably you're not that good, and you know what's going to happen. And then you make the cup. Only 8 teams have ever done that. The other ones are the 2018 Capitals, the 2014 Kings, the 2011 Bruins, the 2006 Hurricanes, the 2002 Wings, the 93 Canadiens, the 92 Penguins. Literally all of them won the cup. If you ever lose your first 2 games of the playoffs and then make the cup,
you win.
You win the cup every time.
That is a phenomenal stat.
That is the craziest stat I've ever heard.
That is a phenomenal stat. And of all of the ones that we have read, that is one, if you are an Oilers fan, you're like, oh yeah.
We're doing it.
Because that actually doesn't feel like mysticism bullshit.
Yep.
That is performance stuff.
Dude,
that's like we were in a hole, we dug out of it, and
snapped
now
out
we're
of
just
it, dude.
fucking buzzing.
Totally agree, dude.
Yeah.
I had the same reaction because you're like, there's a rallying moment in the locker room. You go, boys, what are we about to get fucking knocked out in the first round?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. And then everyone steps up, and then you go on a run and you win the cup.
You're buzzing. I like that one a lot.
That's the fucking most nuts thing.
I hate that stat if I'm a Panthers fan. Hate it.
Dude, the Connor lore is everywhere. He will not be denied this year. It's something deep in his psychosis, deep in his brain. He's seen these stats. He's maybe creating these stats, dude. He's building a whole universe around himself that ends with them winning the cup this year.
I mean, it's insane. By the way, did you see fucking Frank Saravelli goes on Daily Face-Off the other day, and they were like, "What's one word to describe this Oilers team?" And he said inevitable and didn't credit us.
Yeah, I did.
Come like Frank, give me a fucking break, pal. We've been doing this since round 1.
I did see that.
But that is Connor. That's this Oilers team, man. It is they are making everything that makes sense and has logic. They are making no sense.
There's a lot of magic, dude.
And illogical, and they're just winning.
How do the Panthers win?
To me, the Panthers win by being the exact team they are. And what's scary is I think the Panthers, both on paper and in practice, are a better team. I think they have the advantage everywhere. And that includes, like, is Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl better than Sasha Barkov and Matthew Tkachuk? Probably their 2 best forwards on Florida. Yep. Yes. But, like, I mean, if you aren't on board with Sasha Barkov being a top 5 player now, I don't know what's wrong with you. It's more just like the way they play and the way they match up. That is a problem.
I will say, or go on.
Just to answer your question, the Panthers, all they have to do is just be them. Don't do anything different.
Yeah.
Be yourself. Play exactly how you have been playing. And what this Oilers team has done is make every single team they've played since Game 3 against LA play differently. They play Connor and Leon for the last 2 minutes of every period. The amount of goals scored in the last 5 to 2 minutes of periods in these playoffs with the Oilers team is astounding.
Yeah.
Like, go look it up. It's ridiculous how many times they have capitalized either drawing a penalty or getting a goal in the last 5 to 2 minutes of the period is absurd. So you need to combat that. You have the best defensive center in the NHL on your team if you're the Florida Panthers. You probably have a top 5 one as well in Lundell. You have an insane defensive player who also has offensive firepower in Brad Marchand that you just picked up. Like Sam Reiner, too.
Yeah.
Sam Bennett. Like, you have the tools to combat that. Are you going to be the first fucking team these playoffs that picks up on the fact that Edmonton does that? You would hope so.
Yeah.
You beat them last year in the Cup because you knew it, even though you let it get close. So, in my opinion, Florida just has to play like themselves. Do not let this team and the weird lineup shit that they, not weird, but the creative, impressive lineup shit that they do stump you. Don't let it rattle you. And presumably you'll be fine.
Yeah, I've heard so much about the Oilers checking, keeping everything to the perimeter. No one can get to the middle. No one can get shots. Dallas shoots 4 times in the third period. And it's been confusing to watch. If Florida enters these games and gets 3 shots in the third period of important momentum swinging games, then yeah, it is. The Oilers are doing something extremely special. And I've got my eye on that big time. Talking about the matchups, dude, because you said that, and obviously these are subject to change, but I will say, and here comes like criticizing Edmonton's depth again, even though that's just been rammed down my throat the entire postseason, rightfully so and deservedly so. But when you read this, because the Hyman injury blows, dude, like that's not good. When you go projected first line for Florida, Evan Rodriguez, Sasha Barkov, Sam Reiner, great line. Projected first line for Oilers, RNH, McDavid, Corey Perry. And I'm like, I probably skew, Barkov's has their strengths against that line, but you skew the Oilers there with talent. You can't win on talent alone. But you know what I'm saying. I think so. Just the McDavid factor. Corey Perry scores a lot of goals. RNH has been great. Most points in the playoffs.
Yeah.
It's close. But even when you drop to the second line, the Oilers' second line of Evander Kane, Leon Draisaitl, and KK, and then Carter Verhaeghe, Sam Bennett, Matthew Tkachuk. On paper, I'm like, oh, that skews Florida all day. And then the third line, it's Pod, Janmark, and Arvidsson. Again, it could change. Versus Luostarinen, Lundell, and Brad Marchand. And I think Wish said it on the pod where he was like, that third line could win the series.
I've been saying that since round 1, dude. They are the best line in the playoffs in my opinion. Like their matchups are a nightmare for people.
That feels crazy to me. Yeah. And it's going to be huge on Knoblauch to manage those changes at home. That's why you have home ice. Mm-hmm. And it's going to be huge on those guys to deliver, by the way. You need that Lundell line to produce. And they've been producing like crazy, but if they slow down, you're like, fuck, that was an advantage that we thought we had that we don't.
You need them to produce or neutralize, right? The Oilers' depth has out of nowhere been huge for them. And if all of a sudden you take away all of these what the fuck Oilers depth goals and that line is the one doing it, that's a win for Florida.
Yep. Yeah, fair. I was going to say
Edmonton gets shit pumped in the first round if those random depth goals don't get scored.
Yeah.
So like if those are gone, and again, Connor and Leon have heated up, right?
Yes.
They're way hotter than they were round 1, round 2. So it might still be enough for them if those two just stay hot. But yeah, I think the Florida third line does need to produce, but at the same time, if they neutralize, that is a huge win.
For sure.
Huge win.
The other thing will be interesting is that I had said that the home ice ended up mattering so much to Florida that last matchup, even though you didn't think it was going to. The Panthers have been nasty on the road in these playoffs. And I was like, oh, wow, Edmonton's so happy that they got home ice. But the Panthers have actually been so sick.
Did it matter that much? Like, Florida won 3 at home and 1 on the road. Like, that's a normal series that is 1-7. Like, and if you want to say, like, the home ice in Game 7 made all the difference, be my guest.
That is what I'm.
Yeah, I don't think it did at all.
But the Panthers are 8-2 on the road through the first 3 rounds of this playoff.
Big.
3-0 in the Eastern Conference Finals, plus 27 goal diff. The power play's at 42.9%, penalty kill 89%. And like we've seen these, like the Oilers discrepancy, power play and PK is insane away from home.
Yeah.
So that'll be a unstoppable force meets immovable object factor in this series.
Dude,
it's like how the Panthers play in Rogers.
I'll tell you this, man, and it sounds like a hot take. It's not if you look historically and statistically, if you look at it. If Edmonton wins both games here at Rogers, 1 and 2, this series is over.
Yeah, interesting.
This series is over.
Because their just home ice is too good, or what do you think?
I think it's a combination of their home ice is too good and Florida's been so good on the road, but if all of a sudden those first 2 games on the road you lose, and to me, dude, it's the blood tasting, right?
Yeah.
Both these teams are good at that. If
Yeah,
they taste blood,
really
they
good point.
capitalize.
Really good point.
But if Connor McDavid goes up 2-0 in a Stanley Cup final, there's literally no planet.
He won't let it happen.
There's literally no planet where he doesn't get 2 wins in the next 5 games.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're Oilers 6-1 at home these playoffs. 56.6 power play percent, 83 penalty kill at Rogers.
And don't forget that one loss was when Leon Draisaitl scored on his own team. Like, that is the only time they've lost there. Went to overtime, or was about to go to overtime.
1.1 second left. Yeah, like they haven't lost. They're undefeated at home. So
like
that's gonna be huge.
how many empty net goals do they have in their wins at Rogers? Of that 6-1 record?
6-1.
Like, I bet it's 5.
You mean because like that's how they're all
Like they're winning so.
Oh yeah.
Like they're like, yeah, it's over.
It's over. And their penalty kill on the road, dude, is 55%. So like they were getting killed by Dallas there. That's how they lost the only game that they lost to Dallas on that PK.
Can you believe? We've said it. It is so funny saying it like that. Dallas won 1 game.
And the
You
first game,
fucking losers.
the first game, dude. It wasn't even like there was any pushback. Like it's not like the Oilers won a couple and then Dallas was like, we'll get one.
So fucking bad.
They
Like,
won a game and said and sung from the rooftops that everything was different.
It is crazy
and then got swept.
that both LA and Dallas lost 4 straight games to this team.
Yeah.
Like, it is crazy.
And Vegas should have, dude. Like Vegas should have been swept. Like the only reason they won the game was because Draisaitl put his own fucking net.
What a clown show.
Of course, we got to talk goalie. Bob, in his past 10, 157 goals against, 935 save percentage, 2 shutouts in his past 10. Skinner, in his past 7, 6-1, 141 goals against, 944 save percentage, 3 shutouts.
Ridiculous.
So better in everything.
Yeah, and it's weird, right? Even with the absolutely abysmal start,
The stash.
and being yanked, you feel much better about Stu this year than you did last year. Much better.
Dude, agree. You're
Much
definitely like, it's in the back of your mind. You're like, oh God, just please stay hot. But last year, I if I remember correctly, I felt like going in being like, you just simply can't get enough good performances out of him to win this series. And he almost proved that wrong, but it felt way more certain that it was just going to be too tall a task. Here, I think you're going, dude, he could implode. Absolutely. It's not outside the realm of possibility, but he could just stay hot for like 5-6 more games.
Yeah, you're right. And what's tough is let's talk about bad games.
Sure.
If Stu has a bad game, God forbid, in Edmonton,
Yeah.
it is impossible to not go, oh fuck.
Yeah, right.
If Bob has a bad game, which he will.
He does. He always has one. He sprinkles one in.
Bob will have a bad game in this series. I promise you. Like, Florida fans, be ready for it. Hopefully it's in a blowout loss. You were never going to win this game.
Yep.
Bob will have a bad one. But you are not fazed by a bad Bob game in the slightest, in my opinion. You're like, whatever.
I think that's right. I think I think the difference in the series will be, can Stu give you not even this, dude, because this is epic. If he gives you
No,
this,
no,
you
no.
win.
You need Stu game 5 against Dallas.
Yeah, like exactly.
That's all you need.
Yep.
Like let in 2 or 3 and just like hope that the boys are going and you win 4-3.
And we can like get a few pop off.
You need game and that win was so important for Stu.
Yeah, dude.
Because I think that is Stu going, shit, I got scored on 3 times and we still won. It
was okay.
Like he's like,
Everything's okay,
I don't
Stu.
need to get a shutout. I can do that. That is all you need from him. And you'll win a bunch of games. You might win the cup with that. So listen, if we're doing goalie comparison, is Bob better? Yeah.
Yep.
But Bob's old.
Bob's old. Bob's tired.
Stu's young. And
Yeah.
Stu's vibing right now. They're both vibing, but the fact that Stu is vibing, he's got a little extra rest. You love that.
You love that Stu. Yeah, you're right. If you're the Oilers, your only goal is to just keep Stu vibing. Just because vibes stay high, dude.
Keep him vibing.
Bob doesn't know what vibes are. Bob Russian. He's never heard of vibes.
You're vibing. You got home ice. You're in a good zone. I mean, you like that. You'll go out with that.
Yeah, you would date that.
And that is very good news for the Oilers. It's very good news for Stu, your best bud.
My guy, dude. I love Stu
Can't
so
wait.
much.
When he comes on the pod, I'm not going to get a single word in.
No,
It's just going to be you two
Well, maybe you will. I'm just going to be hugging him the whole time.
yucking it up, dude, with your inside jokes.
He's the man.
And I'm going to be like, should I leave?
Do you buy the, like, we've learned?
100%.
Yep.
100%. I think, frankly, that Vegas team 2 years ago was very good.
The Cup team.
They were very good.
They were nasty.
And they had such great depth. Everyone was very healthy. And you had Hill. You had like the birth of Hill.
Yep.
I thought it was surprising that Florida lost in 5. I was like, shit, like, damn. I thought they were going to put up more of a fight. Obviously, that Tkachuk injury was huge. But I was like, fuck, this team's good. But just the lessons that they learned. Matthew Tkachuk had that great quote when they won in the Eastern Conference Final, and he looks up at the camera, no smile, no nothing, no nonsense, all business. Standing on business.
Yeah.
And he just went, told you we'd be back. Mm-hmm. That is, and I want to be clear, every team has that shit.
Yeah.
Every team has these videos of guys saying, like, right now, the Hyman video in the locker room last year after they lost is going viral, of being like, boys, I believe in this group. I promise we're going to be back. And everyone's like, holy shit. Every single team who has ever gone to the Stanley Cup and lost has that video.
Everyone says that in the locker room as soon as they lose.
Every single team has that. So and not all of them are right.
In
I
fact,
am saying
almost all of them are wrong.
it's not this like he saw the future thing. Everyone says that. Now, it is huge that they got here. Mm-hmm. And if you're Edmonton and you're going to win it for something, win it for him.
Yeah, hell yeah.
I think undoubtedly, though, if you do lose and get back, you are using that fuel.
Yes.
There is no doubt that fuel is in your tank and it's ripping through all of your hardware and coming out your ass and propelling you to this final. There is no doubt. I do think they learned a lot, and it is just dude, you've been there. Yeah. That's so real.
Yeah.
You've
oh
been
my God,
there.
dude.
Those boys, like Connor had never been there. Leon had never been there. Nuge had never been there. Hyman had never been there. That is so real.
Corey Perry's like, I go every year.
I go every year.
Dude, I'm back.
Nurse had never been there. Bouchard had never, like, these guys had never been there. And that feel now going, we've been here. Not only have we been here, we've done this flight back and forth. Like we know it now. So that advantage that Florida had the year before that frankly got them to a 3-0 lead, that was monumental. You ain't got that anymore, Florida. So you better have an answer for that lack of advantage because it's gone.
And Osh said it's almost better to start. Not almost better. He was like, I love starting on the road because there's no pressure. We can still win our home games. But Verhaeghe had a quote that was like, Rogers Place is like the loudest building I've ever been in. So it's you've got the Oilers pissed off at you. They've got everything you just said, plus the fan, plus the home crowd support, home ice advantage. And it's like, you better be ready to go. There's no like easing into this series. I'd love to go back and watch game 1 first period last year to be like, yeah, maybe these teams are kind of feeling it out. There will be none of that this year. I know exactly who you are. Everyone's saying we're both better. I guess they are, but it's like, these are pretty similar teams.
Yeah.
Dude, I saw this ridiculous stat that was like, from the 2014 draft, the first 4 picks are Ekholm,
I'm going to look it up.
Reinert, Yes. Bennett is 4. And tell me who 3 is.
2014 NHL draft. Ekblad 1.
Ekblad, sorry, that's what I meant to say.
Rhino 2. Dry 3.
Dry 3.
Sam
Christ.
Bennett 4. That is, dude, that is such an insane, and they're all nasty.
And they go, the stat goes, this is the second time in NHL history the top 4 picks from one draft have been in a final. And they were like, the first time was last year. Same 4 guys. I was like, this is
Just
a fucking
this,
ridiculous stat.
That is wild.
But you know what I mean? You know each other. You've been playing each other forever. They had 2 epic games this regular season. Cats won both, 6-5 in Edmonton, 4-3 at home. But 2 epic games. You know it's going to be tight.
KK went 22nd in that draft. He's also here.
Hell yeah. But dude, if you're
fun.
Florida though, I will say this. If you were the Panthers, that locker room and those boys are so invested in this repeat because they know it takes you to another level. Right now, you're the fun Florida Panthers team who made 2 cups on a Cinderella run the first year, and then you got absolutely whacked while you were injured and hurt by Vegas. And then last year, you did something special and won a cup. Is that it? Is that your whole story? Or does this year you come back, and when everyone said, I just read 50 things about Connor McDavid lore, when everyone goes, there's no way you can repeat, certainly against the same team, and they go, watch me.
Can I say this too? Let me say something. Give me a second to say something.
Say it.
It would piss me off to no end, even with the fact that you are the current cup holders, how all people do in the media is talk about Edmonton. Just tip of the cock hitting the back of the throat.
Yep.
Every single media source. Edmonton this, Edmonton that, McDavid this, Draisaitl that. It's literally all anyone is talking about. And you guys are the current cup holders back in the cup. No one has an ounce of breath about this Florida Panthers team. That would piss me off so fucking much. And if I were them, I would love nothing more than to lift a silver tray top off of a platter and show a big fat L to the Edmonton Oilers team and fans yet again. And also, to add on to that, to put the dessert in front of you of that, I would want to make up for blowing a 3-0 series lead last year. I would be pissed still about that. They won the cup, so they don't care. Dude, that was stressful.
Oh my
Talk
God.
to any Panthers fan. They were like, this is embarrassing. Are we about to blow this? And we how many times do we say we were sitting in Sunrise and we were at Elbow Room with fans, people who are not naming names, part of the franchise, and they were like, we will literally never recover if we lose this game.
Yeah.
And that was true. So to even let a team take you to that is currently fuel for Edmonton. Because I'll tell you what, if Edmonton wins this series, there will be plenty of fans. I'm not saying this is right. There will be plenty of delusional or otherwise fans going, dude, they're lucky they even won last year.
We were better than them last year.
We just stumbled out the gate in the first 3 games, and then we almost fucking reverse swept them, and they got 1 win because they were at home. And now we just beat them, and fuck you. We should be back-to-back.
Yeah.
There's going to be fans saying that.
Yep.
And Florida should know that. And they should have that in their minds of dude, there are so many reasons why we need to win this game. Not want to win, need to win. Because there's going to be just so much of a narrative if you lose. It's interesting. There's part of me that's you got nothing to lose. If they were going up against a different team, I think there would be less stress. I really do.
Oh, yeah.
So it's there's so much fuel from both sides. It's actually kind of crazy. I'm getting a little fucking horny over here thinking about the fact that both of these teams are we cannot lose.
Dude, there's something to the Panthers having lost the cup in 2023 and nearly blowing a 3-0 lead that is helping them.
Yeah.
Because like I said a second ago about taking it to the next level, this team isn't going to be the same. Do you keep Sam Bennett? Maybe. I know they want to, but he's going to cost you $10.5 million, right? You can't always build.
No, he ain't.
Well, we'll see. But
he will get that offer somewhere else.
Yep.
He ain't going.
Okay, but we'll see. My point is, the cup windows are small. Cup teams are rare. And if this is a team that you have, you know what it's like to get here and lose. If this is a team that you have right on the doorstep again to become a legacy team, 3 straight cups, 2 wins, that puts you in another bracket.
Yep.
If you have that chance and you don't take it, you go, God knows when we'll be back.
Yeah.
And now we've lost 2 cups in 3 years. Yeah. And that sucks. So that this team is well aware of the stakes here on their end too. And you are so right that no one's talking about them. I would love to go back and look at the pre-playoff picks. And there was a ton of Colorado and Dallas and Caps and Tampa's even who are playing them. I don't recall too many people, if anyone, being like Florida's actually going to go back to back.
You're so right, man. And like, I obviously I made my apology, but we were like, yeah, I think Tampa's got it. Like the it's weird to say, but there was a level of disrespect for this team that they're definitely
absolutely
using. And it's you kind of had Toronto on the ropes, and you let them sneak one game back, then you beat the shit out of them. Mm-hmm. So it's like, yeah, they definitely they've got a lot of juice. Like, this is not a like, if we lose we lose. Like, they've got a ton of juice. And also, man, I said, seeing Connor's post, it was the contrast of Connor's post game after beating the dick off of Vegas.
Yeah.
Where he was like, he got asked that annoying question. And he was like, fucking shut up, dude.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn, this guy is fucking
high strung, dude.
He's like locked in. To then beating the dick off of Dallas and him being like, we're chilling, like this is always the goal. This is where we wanted to be. We've been here before. I was like, ooh, you do not like to see that as an opponent.
Yeah.
So calm.
Yeah.
And then I think you saw it was round 2, but you saw that too with Florida. Like, when Florida beat Toronto, that conversation, I think I mentioned this on the live, that conversation between Bennett and Verhaeghe being like, psyched we get to play more hockey. I wasn't ready.
I wasn't done for summer.
That was the most disrespectful conversation I've ever seen in my entire life.
Not a care in the world.
It was literally the most disrespectful thing I've ever seen. Like, if I were a Toronto player, I would have been like, oh my God, dude, there wasn't an ounce of worry in them. And they then they took this different Canes team, beat the fuck out of them too.
Yep.
So it's like both these teams are so calm. And that's why I kept going, what were any of us fucking idiot buffoons in the media doing, going, why do we waste any time here?
Yeah.
Why is it June and we're doing the Stanley Cup final? Why didn't we spare so many people injuries, money, time, and just have these two teams play right off the fucking bat in the beginning of May?
Yep.
In April. Because it's like, dude, this was always the final.
Dude, here's my last. I didn't include this in the lore section because it's not really lore, but this did just have me feeling Oilers skew. Remember, I was trying to make Dallas the Empire, and I was like, yeah, they get the Death Star, and you were like, it's a star, dude.
Yeah.
I was like, oh yeah, it's true. It's now feeling to me like that was the Oilers, dude, and it's always movie 2 where Revenge of the Sith, Empire Strikes Back. Like, it's always movie 2 where the other guy wins, and maybe if they come back and play 3 times, the Panthers
will win
to complete the trilogy. But movie 2, dude, it's the guys who took a fat L in the first one win because we need stakes for the third one. That's how the world works.
Yeah. Yeah.
Revenge of the fucking Sith.
Don't act like that thought hasn't crossed my mind.
Yeah.
Like, so many people have said that, and you're right. It's like, this is the one to win.
Yeah.
And it's, fuck me. It's I don't know the last time I've gone into a Stanley Cup final as a fan just watching and felt more like, fuck, both of these teams are so nasty.
Yeah.
So nasty. I mean, growing up a Bruins fan, 2011, I was like, this Bruins team has no business beating this Vancouver team. But then they figured it out. 2013, I was like, they have no business beating the Chicago team. Chicago beat them in 6. And it was just like, yep, okay.
Yeah.
And this one, I'm like, I have no idea. Both of these teams are disgusting. And there's just, as we have said, we've spent the last almost hour talking about, there are so many narratives here. There are so many reasons to believe in both teams.
Yep.
So this is going to be wild.
Absolute scenes.
Okay, before we move on, quickly want to just talk about what to expect from the Empty Netters boys over the next couple of weeks. As you are listening to this, we are on a plane headed to Edmonton. We are going to be ripping every single game of this series with you guys. In Edmonton, we're going to be buzzing all over the place. If you are there, you will know exactly where to find us. Like I said it earlier, we will be doing a meet and greet at the Pint on Thursday. No game day, which means we're going to be fucking ripping all night. Usually these things are like, oh, before the game. No. You got your boys until fucking 3 a.m.
Till the sun goes down, which is 4 a.m.
Yeah. Here we go. We will then be hopping on a plane right after game 2, heading to Lottie. Heading home, dude.
Yep.
Back to Elbow Room. We'll be ripping there. We'll be doing tons of stuff there as well. Make sure, guys, you are all over the page because we're going to be posting super fun mid-form videos, doing some travel stuff, showing people the city of Edmonton, showing the people the city of Lottie and Sunrise. It is just going to be unbelievable. So
the biggest thing I will say, though, is after the games, because we were doing the lives in the morning while we were here, after the games, we are going to go record the podcast after the game, and we are doing it live. Okay, and it's it's live across everything. As if you've been following along, we use Restream, and it's live on Twitter and IG and TikTok and YouTube. So we're doing it live. So if you want the fuck it, we're doing it live. If you want the instant pod reaction, it's coming right after the game, and we're gonna do the full episode, and then we will obviously repost that as a video on YouTube. So if it's on the East Coast or it's too late or whatever and you miss it, it'll be up in the morning right away for the commuters. The one wrinkle, maybe game 2. I think we'll have time, but it's going to be crazy just because our flight to Fort Lauderdale is fucking insane and we're like leaving at 1 a.m. But we should be able to finish the pod after that. That is live. We have a bunch of guests lined up. Some guys want to join the live with us after, but a lot of guys are doing quick pops in between games. These are going to go on our YouTube midform. So if you're an Apple or Spotify listener of this podcast and you're listening right now, you're still going to get the pods that way because we're going to upload the lives to your platform, but you are going to miss these midforms with players coming on and talking about the series. So for the love of God, subscribe to the YouTube. Even if you don't consume this pod on YouTube, subscribe to the YouTube and then you will get an alert that the midforms have been posted and you'll be able to get all that incredible action as we go on this journey.
Yep. Beautiful stuff. Let's take a quick break. Get back into the close. All right, babes, it's time to talk about when you are feeling your sexiest. When you strip down to the skivvies, we're talking about Skims underwear. I bet you aren't thinking Skims when you're thinking men's underwear these days, but I am telling you that it is time to change that thought process. Skims is now in the men's undies game, and I gotta say, I will never go back. I can't believe it. I'm very particular when it comes to the briefs that I wear. They got to be comfortable. They can't be too hot. They can't ride up too much, bunch up, anything like that. And I was blown away when I found out that Skims is going even beyond that. I mean, they've got all of these different options for you right now. They've got sleepwear. They've got oversized tees. They're getting everything in the men's game right now, keeping you looking fresh. But when it comes to the underwear, they're keeping everything beautiful, tight, high quality, comfortable. Like I said, you don't want to overheat when you've got a pair of briefs on. If you like boxers, that's great. I myself am a briefs guy. I like that 5-inch, doesn't go too long down the leg, also isn't too high. I feel like that's when it bunches up a lot. And the 5-inch cottons are my favorite. They got the great stretch ones as well. It's more of that athletic feel. It almost feels like you're wearing compression shorts like you wear when you're playing sports. But the cotton ones, they just feel so good and they are sexy, man. I am telling you. You put these things on and you feel like a model. The fit of them, the style, they look cool. And listen, hopefully there's only a choice few people that are seeing you when you're in your skivvies. But when they do, they're going to be like, God damn, I'm looking at a model right now. They feel so good on the body. They look incredible. You've got to check this out because we are too old. We are too far in our lives to be wearing old, ratty boxers and briefs. You need to update the drawer. You need to have stuff that looks great for you and your partner because, listen, I don't care if they're under the pants. They got to look good. They've got to feel good because if you feel good, if you look good, you feel good, then you play good. We need that in life. Let's be honest. Go to skims.com. Check out their men's section. Grab yourself a pair. Like I said, the 5-inch cotton is my jam. 5-inch stretch is amazing too. They've got that great sleepwear, like I said. And when you check out, go to the survey, hit podcasts, and then select empty netters. Let them know that we sent you because, again, I can't stress this enough. It's time to upgrade the underwear drawer. You need to have good, high-quality stuff in there that looks good, feels amazing, and this is exactly what Skims is giving the boys right now. Check it out.
Our friends at True Classics has one mission, to make guys look good and feel even better. How about that? Are you kidding me right now? And they're doing it. They've nailed it. The fit, the price, all up and down my wardrobe. It's crazy. I started with the jeans. I got to be honest with you. I started with the jeans and I'm loving them. They got a nice, comfortable fit. You know, because fashion's so crazy. We are transitioning out of we used to be the baggy people. Now we're the skinny jean people and we're kind of coming back. The pendulum's swinging back. I get these awesome fit, true classic jeans, not too tight around the legs, super comfortable, like, flexible around the waist, which I love. But then I got on the t-shirt game too, because they got the hoodies, they got the shirts, but the t-shirt game has actually been an absolute slam dunk home run for me, because I wear these out to the bars, because it's just like, I got a white, I got a black, I got a charcoal gray. They're just these clean shirts, tight around the chest, arms where I want it to. I can kind of like look like I've been working out, but then super loose fitting everywhere else. So comfortable, but I can wear them in a fancier setting, and I can wear them just lounging at the house. It's amazing, and I'm really loving it, because I've been rocking these True Classics for a while now. And the more and more I get, the more and more my entire dresser just fills up with True Classic stuff. And it's this type of quality is in the DNA of this company. They're giving you hilarious ads. They're giving you Ritz-Carlton level customer service, give back to the community, making great clothes. They're doing everything. So if you want to get involved with this True Classic game like I'm getting involved, I want you to go to trueclassic.com/netters. That's NETTERS. And you can upgrade your wardrobe right there. You can also find them at Target and Costco, but go to trueclassic.com/netters and upgrade that wardrobe just like I've been doing right now. Big thank you again to our sponsors, and it is time for a Coachella update. So on Thursday last week, we posted, I revealed the name in the pod, and but we didn't make a clip yet, because the clips can really take off, and then, you can cause people some problems. So on Thursday night, a ton of you guys, and I fucking love you so much, were commenting on Keyshawn Johnson Sr., Keyshawn Johnson Jr.'s dad, on his most recent Instagram post being like, pay empty netters. Tell your son to pay empty netters.
Savage.
We took screenshots, put them on the story, and I was like, grid post coming tomorrow, dude. Here comes the reckoning. Here comes the final reckoning. And to his credit, after that went up, we got a message.
After a little, I mean, I don't know if I'm going to say to his credit. Like, yes, he messaged after getting politely told to stop being an asshole, and played victim a little bit. Nope. Played victim a little bit. And yeah, then agreed to pay you.
Well, no, he sent me a long message that said, listen, dude. Well, he goes, dude, I'm getting harassed by your fans. And I was like, you damn right you are.
Yeah. You're a
pal.
You're being an asshole.
and we got people in the works. So he sent me a message that was like, hey, dude, first of all, I don't have a relationship with my dad. I can't just ask for the money. And second of all, I didn't want to have, and he did say, he was like, I should have paid you the $500. That was inexcusable, and I'm sorry. But I don't want to have no money. And I replied, and I said, dude, I see where you're coming from. I hope you understand where I'm coming from. I don't want you to have, genuinely, I don't want you to have no money either. You should live your life. Like, I don't want you to be broke. But I was like, but you gotta come up with a payment plan to pay me back. So if you give me a couple $100, today or this weekend, I will consider that an act of good faith that you are beginning this payment plan, and I will not dox the grid post and set the actual wolves on you. And then on Saturday, I'm not going to say the name, but on Saturday, because remember his Cash App was closed.
Yeah.
I got a Cash App for $200 from a girl, and I presume is his girlfriend, because he said that's what he was going to do, and act of good faith confirmed. So we'll see. We're not out of the woods yet. We got a long way to go to get out of the woods.
Very long road.
Very long road, but hey, for now, the grid post reserved, dogs called off temporarily.
What will you do if you get a message on Cash App from the person who paid you that's like, hey, I just looked at my Cash App. I have no idea what this payment is to you. What is going on?
What is this? I would call the authorities.
You would then know that he has stolen someone's phone.
I would call the authorities. Because I got to say, and I'm not going to drop these names yet either, but we actually got messages independently of this being like, I have had dealings with that person, and
that person owes me money as well.
He owes me a ton of money, and he doesn't pay me back. And I was like, oh, Christ, here we go. So we'll see what happens. But so far, $200. A lot of you said I would never get anything back, and I have $200 in my Cash App right now.
At this rate, by the Stanley Cup next season, you'll have your money back.
I doubt it, dude. Maybe 3 cups from now, maybe.
Unbelievable. All right, Wags, take us into a beer league hotline as we close this episode out.
Old story, but happened in my league. Very early on in a D division game, 2 guys drop the gloves. One guy pummels the other. As they're getting off the ice, the loser of the fight tosses one of the winner's gloves over the glass near the Zamboni. After they shower up, we saw the loser go get the glove. We assume cooler heads were prevailing. When the winner of the fight gets out of the shower, his glove hasn't been returned. He walks to the Zamboni to get it and finds a present inside. Warm human shit. The guy took a dump in his glove. Deadspin wrote an article about it for proof.
Human shit, Lloyd. It can be yours if you want. Is this actually a photo of it?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Dude, the guy.
That is actual human feces in a man's hockey glove.
He shit the glove, dude. He shit the glove. He shit the glove, Dan. It says he was banned for life, and it said he was a player in 3 different divisions, so it cost him $1,500. He didn't get his $1,500 back for that season, and he's banned for life. And the refs, the guy showed the ref, and then they called the game and said the shit team forfeits.
Correct. I am stunned. I don't want to look at it much longer. But a little bit longer. That's poop.
He's shitting the glove.
It's poop again.
And I gotta say, this happened. He's right. This happened a while ago. This was in 2011. But I'd never heard the story.
Can we show that on the pod or no?
No.
We'll put it in the clip, though.
We cannot put human. We can't put human shit
We can say it's AI
on the video of this
AI
podcast.
generated.
Yeah, like I didn't do it.
What is wild is my take on fighting in beer league. If you get in a glove drop fight in beer league, you're a fucking clown.
Yep.
Like it's just we've all got work tomorrow. What are you doing? So the fact that this other fella here who now has shit glove looks like a saint.
Yeah, he comes out so clean.
He's a victim.
They did say that his hand, when he went to get it,
Didn't go in.
it went right in.
No, it didn't.
Because that's how he picked it up.
No, it didn't. No one would pick up a glove
He had
like
to wash
that.
his hands.
No, we don't need to make this story more
what he
absurd.
said.
It's already absurd.
Do you think he washed it and then used it, or do you think I would toss it?
The team, I also read that the team passed the hat and everyone pitched in for money to buy him new gloves.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But
I
I feel like
they like taxidermied the glove.
I feel like the losers team should have done that. The losing team should have bought him new gloves.
Yeah. I mean, no, like, I don't think that the losing.
You
team,
are responsible for your teammate. Dude.
I don't think I am responsible for my teammate when he takes a shit in another man's glove.
Dude, I love
What? Well, I can't believe this guy's got a shit in his butt ready to go like that.
Well, dude,
That's quick action.
that is quick action, especially usually right after you're still a little too tense. But I've definitely been going to games where I'm like, I got one cooked, but there's no time. There's no time, and I go out and play, and I just deal with it.
I am beyond. I'm bamboozled.
What I can't fathom, Dan, is that they saw him go because they are still playing. It's middle of the game. The guys get tossed. The game continues. They see him leave the shower, and through the glass, they see him go
and grab the glove.
Well, presumably grab it. He obviously didn't. They're like, oh, he's taking the glove back. And did he shit standing? Did anyone see him squat?
No, he must have gone back in the locker room. You know what? I thought this was going to be a classic pee-pee story. I was like,
dude.
yeah.
Tales
the
all the
second is
time.
like, yeah, no, he peed in the glove, which also you're an absolute rat,
Yeah.
scumbag. But this is like you should be in prison.
He's shitting it, dude. He's shitting the glove.
You should have charged this man.
What would have had to have happened in the fight to justify that?
Nothing. This is barbaric. This is barbaric behavior.
Dude, what if he said...
No, there's no verbal assault that could...
What if in the fight, the winner of the fight goes, while they're fighting, he goes, I just shit in my hand on the bench, and I didn't wash it, and I'm
socking you with my
face with
shit
shit hand. And then you find that out, and then you find out that dude returned shit in his glove.
You know what?
Would you go, that's fine?
I hate to admit it. That is a scenario where this is more reasonable.
Just say we need to collect some of the facts.
An eye for an eye, and unfortunately, this one is a stink eye.
A brown eye for a brown eye.
I can't believe this. Like this man, I want. Do not permit entry under any circumstances. Photos at every hockey rink in North America.
Because he's playing somewhere.
At every hockey rink in North America.
He's playing somewhere.
Like,
I think
this is ungodly behavior.
Can I give you one guess as to the city this happened in?
Philly?
Wow, that's a fucking great guess. But it's wrong.
Is it a U.S. city?
Yep.
It's not Philly. Boston?
I was going to say
Yeah,
Boston.
Boston, for
That
sure.
sounds like a Boston.
For
thing
sure,
to do. I
Boston.
literally was
The
just
amount
about
of
to say
beer
that.
leagues in Boston, there are
37
absolute
Boston.
degens there.
37-year-old Boston area men's league hockey.
Yeah.
Shit
How
in the
do you think he sounded when he was
Oh,
saying it?
dude.
I don't even know what to do right now.
Dude, he's playing somewhere. I'll tell you that much.
Crazy.
He's in the league.
Okay.
Did they release his name?
Yeah.
Say it.
Search him up. I'm going to search him up right now.
Okay, it's Zung.
Zung?
Zung.
That is not a real name.
Zung took it down.
Nguyen.
NG.
Win.
Win. Zung Win.
Zung Win. He's an Asian man?
Shitting in gloves.
He's of Asian descent.
He's of
That
Asian
might be a
descent.
bad name because I feel like there's a bunch of famous people named that.
Zung Win?
That's a very normal.
Oh, there's a normal Asian name.
Zung. How do you say it? Zung.
I'm guessing.
Win.
I'm just going to say Zung Win Poop.
Dude, a former teammate says Zung was never particularly crazy. There are 50 other guys in the league I would have pegged to pull something like this before Zung. Sometimes you catch a guy on the wrong day.
I see the photo.
I can't believe this. Well, Zung Win, you are never allowed at a hockey rink again for
Yep.
the rest of your life.
They said the winner of the fight, he really did beat the crap out of him.
Oh my God. Jesus Christ. All right. Let's wrap this puppy up. Wags, hit us with a beautiful, beautiful Bauer blind ranking. Chances to win the Conn Smythe. Wags is going to give us some names of players in the Stanley Cup final.
And you know what would increase their chances to win the Conn Smythe?
Winning the Stanley Cup.
Playing with a Twitch. Put a Twitch in your hand. Score
That's
a
so
million
true.
goals.
You're
Win
gonna
Conn Smythe. Win Cup, win Conn Smythe.
Boom.
Get Twitch. Never break Twitch. Greatest stick ever. Bauer blind ranking. Okay,
love it.
Wags. 5 guys. Chances we think that they could win the Conn Smythe.
Verhaeghe.
He is. You know what's interesting about him, Dan, is the clutch.
Clutch gene.
He's got a clutch gene.
Big time clutch
And
gene.
I think he scored the winner in the Canes. I think he punched their ticket here. And can you imagine if he has 3 OT goals? Because I think he's got a ton of goals too. I think he's like,
Yeah. I'm putting
probably
him,
second
I
on
think
the
I'm
team.
putting him low.
well, because you're thinking there's obviously there's some favorites, but we might not get them. Like of the second tier, he might be the next guy. He might be the top guy of the second tier.
I think I'm going like I'm going 3 or 4 here.
Okay. What about 2?
I wouldn't do it. Remember way back when I said I'm going 3 or 4 here?
Yeah, I
And
do.
I actively didn't
Vaguely.
say 2.
Vaguely, I remember that.
Yeah, that's how I feel about 2.
Okay, maybe 3, maybe 4. Could be 5, honestly. When the more I'm thinking about it, could be 5.
We'll go 4.
McDavid.
1.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Just move on.
You're right.
1.
It's got to be 1. Got to be 1.
Win or lose, he's probably going to
He
win.
probably might win anyway.
Bob.
Oh, I like 3 here.
What?
There's a guy on. If Florida wins, there's a guy on this team that I feel pretty strongly is going to have to play a monstrous part, and he has been so insanely good that I think he has a better chance.
I think Bob was robbed at gunpoint last year of the Conn Smythe. And
I don't necessarily disagree. I don't think it was that bad of a
no, it
robbery.
wasn't, of course, because Connor's playoff was literally
It was
like the most points ever.
It was absurd.
And if you're ever going to give it to a loser, like Jaguar and Connor had to have 2 playoffs where I was like,
Yeah.
okay. But I am kind of just like, I don't love giving it to the loser no matter what.
Yeah.
So I do think he was robbed, and I think they want to pay him back.
Oh,
In the same way they want to pay Cooch back for MVP this year.
okay. So you want to go 2.
I would go 2.
All right. You let me have 4.
Bob 2.
Okay.
Skinner.
A 5, but he's been remarkable. And as we've said, to win, he's going to need to be as remarkable as he's been in his past 7. Actually, no, I think 5. I just think that there's like...
What if he does what he did in the past 7, though? What if he has one 4 goals against 944 for like 5 games in a row.
You know
here.
what? For better or worse, they still won't give it to him over Connor. Unless Connor has 0 points.
I agree, but I'm just saying which is why we have Connor above
They
him.
have to win the Stanley Cup, and he has to do what he has done, literally, not close to what he has done in the past 7 games in this series.
Yep.
And if Connor has 0 points in that stretch,
Yep.
then he would win, but that ain't happening. So I think 5 here because I think we have to leave that 3 open to some other people.
Oh, that's my guy, though,
I know.
dude.
I know. You can overrule me.
Your logic is sound, but I just think every Oiler shouldn't be 5 just because we're like, well, they're going to give it to Connor.
Well, they wouldn't be. If there was a man whose name rhymes with Conn Smythe, then he would probably be 3 here. And we would go, yeah.
But Skidder doesn't have a better chance over Verhaeghe.
All right, you know what? Do it, dude. Do it. Go for it. Do it. Do it. Do it. Great. 3.
Draisaitl.
Oh, what do you know, you fucking twat? You idiot buffoon. How about that? Dude, how about the end of that? How about the end of that list?
Stu has a better chance than Leon.
Imagine if Sasha Barkov's name had been named.
Stu has a better
imagine
chance
if
than
Matthew
Leon.
Tkachuk's name had been named there.
Stu has a better chance than Leon.
Those were literally my 2 other options I have in my list right here was Draisaitl, Barkov, and Bennett.
Stu has a better chance than Leon because
You're an idiot.
Because if he posts 4 straight shutouts, then he'll win.
You know what's going to be wild is when Edmonton wins the cup and Stu wins Conn Smythe, we're going to be able to revisit this.
Yeah,
And
correct.
It's going to be a great day.
And you're welcome.
It's going to be a great day for you.
And thank you for being my friend, Stu.
All right, folks, that is going to do it for us this episode of the Empty Netters podcast. We already gave you the spiel. Everything is going to be buzzing on all of our channels. Subscribe to the YouTube, 5-star reviews on all platforms. Follow the Instagram. We are ripping you the best content, the best coverage of the Stanley Cup you will literally find on the internet. I fucking promise you. You know why I can promise you? Because we did that at 4 Nations.
Yep.
And we're going to do it again. We're in Edmonton right now as you listen to this. And we're going to just keep buzzing the whole fucking final. So follow along. Let's absolutely rip it. And until you hear from us next time.
Skate hard.